Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I am Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our campaign of Urban Shadows Lex Talionis, an urban fantasy game that's powered by the apocalypse and set in modern-day Rome, Italy. I'm going to go ahead and go around and say who our players are and who they're playing, and we will start with Sara. Hello.
Hello, I am Sara. I use she, they pronouns. I am playing Kai, the Oracle, who uses they, them. And hey, Mallory and Kai are finally in the same room.
Oh.
At the fancy party.
Whether that is good or bad.
For good or for better or for worse,
yeah,
we're in the
same
room.
We'll know where the other person is.
Yes.
At least.
There is that at least. There's knowledge of the location, so that helps. And now we will head over to Lynn. Hello.
Hey, I'm Lynn, she, her, and I am playing Mallory, the Tated, also she, her.
Excellent. All right. Well, like we do with most of the other games, all the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat, or anywhere else. Hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll go back and do something else. I'm just going to smack my microphone around for a while, cat-like. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may include supernatural elements, corruption, debt, characters influenced through debt, drugs, supernatural means, etc., intimacy, mild sexual content, crime, horror tropes, noir tropes, and elements of the history of Rome, like violence, religion, slavery, fascism, etc. You can see that list if you type !CW in the chat. That's also going to come up periodically on the rotation. Also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means any of us, and any of you, can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. So, I have part of a recap, which I'm going to go ahead and read out for us. And then we'll then there will be the art of trying to remember things as they happened, which I'm sure will be a delight. So here we go. So retrograde on Lex Talionis. Kai and Mallory had arrived at the Versace Spring Preview Gala event being held at Palazzo Doria Pamphili. Kai found themselves talking to Versace fashion mogul Olympia Fortunato, who took the opportunity to reveal to Kai that she, Olympia, was in fact an ancient being spoken of in Greek and Roman mythology, the Gorgon, the selfsame entity depicted in Versace's logo. Olympia had an incomplete picture of a vision of upcoming peril, and asked Kai if they had seen the rest of it. Kai provided some details of a vision they'd recently had involving Castel San Angelo and a winged creature enveloping the city. Olympia told Kai that Hecate had contacted her. Hecate, one of the underworld goddesses, not of the underworld, but who hangs out in the underworld, basically, a lot. Hecate, that deity, had contacted her, Olympia, to warn her there had been a vision of a force of destruction that was coming, but gave little other detail. She also had a suspicion, Olympia did, that the werewolves of Via Lupus might have attacked Castel Sant'Angelo, a home of important artifacts, the previous evening. Kai also advised Olympia of the plan the demon Miss Vex and the Vatican Cardinal Ortiz had drawn up to use the subway system to enclose the city in some kind of arcane trap. It's a thing. It's not built yet. The part that they need to build, but it's it's getting there. Olympia asked Kai to attend a gathering to be held tonight, immediately after the meeting of the signatories, those who signed the Urban Pact 400 years ago. Kai spoke briefly with Priya, whom they'd heard was one of a number of devotees of their friend Serena, that had gone missing. Priya was there assisting Olympia with the gala. She indicated to Kai that an accident had recently caused another friend, Fabia, to be turned to stone, but quickly said that she'll be all right before dashing off to help Olympia. We're still not sure what that means. I don't know, cosmically perhaps. Meanwhile, Mallory and her demon boss, Mr. Sharp, encountered Duchess Gloriana, a Fey noble who advised Mallory of a thing that I messed up last time, actually. Just a little bit. I used the wrong word. I said there was a gate in the Vatican. It's not in the Vatican. What she was meant to be confirming was that the gate in the Pantheon had been disrupted using the blood of the line of Caesar. She had found that out. And then went off to talk with Mr. Sharp. Mallory then sought out the vampire Julissa Pavia, whom Mr. Sharp had advised Mallory was supposed to... who Mr. Sharp had advised... I didn't get to proofread this also, by the way. But Mr. Sharp had told Mallory that Julissa was supposed to deliver a small item, a tablet, to him this evening. Mallory could not find her at first, instead running into Mafia Consigliere and wizard Delphina Jenna, who was in conversation with the Spectre and Marshal of the Gate, Count Alessandro Cagliostro. The gate, the underworld side of the gate, who seemed to be loudly teasing the idea that there is a powerful oracle in town, in tones suggesting that knowledge of that fact this evening is a very significant thing. And then Jim's notes ran out. So then there was a fashion show. I seem to recall there was a fashion show, during which they gave the spring preview. The colors, as I recall, were a bright orange and a bright green, and also, of course, black and metal. Then, toward the end of that, Kai was kind of in that area of the building. The social media influencer, Ileana Kantos, who also happens to be a member of the Warriors of Apollo, who just happened to hunt oracles, apparently, came bounding up and made Kai and sort of an unusual offer, just basically saying, just come with me, let's talk about this, you can have a normal life, I've got a way to get you out of this. But Kai refused, and at which Ileana, I think, said basically, I'm sorry, well, this is the last chance, and stepped away. Also, I think told Kai not to trust Delphina Jenna. So I think Kai then immediately went looking for Delphina Jenna, if I recall correctly.
That is exactly what happened.
Let's see. Mallory found Julissa Pavia downstairs at Cafe Doria. There's a little cafe down underneath the castle. And Julissa, the vampire, was hanging out with a bunch of werewolves. The werewolf leadership, in fact. Galerius and Diana and Victor. Who apparently they had some kind of meeting that Mallory didn't get to see what they had been talking about because they were leaving at the time. But sort of followed them up. I think Victor seemed to hint to Mallory that there might be something going on later to kind of keep on guard for, just in case. But Victor did not elaborate on what this might be. Not even sure he knew, really, to be fair, but he probably knew. But then Mallory was able to catch up with Julissa, and get her alone for a moment, and just to ensure, is the thing still happening? Is the thing still happening? And Julissa was like, the thing's totally still happening. Probably. Yes, no,
Maybe.
Totally still happening. I just don't have it here. My compatriots, the werewolves. She seems to be indicating something about the werewolves. Won't let it out of their sight, but I'm going to get it. It's being brought to me, and then I will deliver it to him. As long as he comes through, him being Mr. Sharp, comes through with his end of the bargain.
There's a lot of maybes that Mallory didn't like.
This is true.
It's like,
Julissa was just very much like, this is important to us. This has to happen. Seemed perhaps a tiny bit uncertain.
yeah, there was.
As though, yes, this is definitely a thing she wants to happen, but perhaps she hasn't completely convinced herself of that. I don't know.
Because Mallory definitely knows from what she does, and she does it frequently, that language of like, things totally happening, which really means, I don't know. Maybe. Cool.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, no, totally. It's fine. Everything's absolutely fine. But then, as I recall, Kai and Mallory both found themselves heading to the Velvet Room. Kai had passed through the ballroom, found Delphina Jenna in the ballroom with her nephew, the mob boss, Mario Jenna, and just kind of sort of indicated, "Can we talk?" And said, "I'm going to be going over there," you know. So Delphina was in the middle of a conversation, but was like, "Yeah, you know." And so to give the sort of the hand signal for, I'll be right there. And then went into the Velvet Room. I believe that Mallory went also into the Velvet Room looking for the werewolves, because it's like, okay, well, maybe the werewolves have it. And that is where we left off. Let me turn the party back on. There we go. Resuming party audio now. Wait, I have separate Velvet Room music.
Oh.
Apparently. Should I save this for the reception room, or should I play it in the Velvet Room also? I wonder. I have to wonder. I have to totally have unplayed in the Velvet Room. So they've got even separate music playing in here. So here in the Velvet Room, and I will show folks once again where we are. This is the Palazzo Doria Pamphili in Rome. I'm going to go ahead and display the Velvet Room so that folks can see that. Hopefully everyone can see that clearly. I always get it slightly to the left of where I need to put it for some reason. I just need to mark that somehow. There we go. So the Velvet Room right now has music playing currently. I'm going to say probably there's a little band there, like a 2-3 piece band that's playing this. Some of this music. Do I have more than one soundtrack on? No, just the one.
No, you've only got the one.
Okay, good. I can't tell anymore. And so, if there are more than 3 instruments currently playing, then that means they're also using a synthesizer of some kind. So they wanted to give more of an impression of this being a more important, austere room. So they hired a band, because clearly that's the demarcation for it. Not like those fools next door in the ballroom who have a DJ. But anyway, that said, so you have a number of supernaturals in here right now. Let me go ahead and pull up my notes so that I can remember who all is in here right now. No, that's the wrong tab, Jim. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we have So the werewolves are in here. Galerius and Diana and Victor, they're kind of in the corner-ish of the room. They're everyone's kind of giving them a wide berth. For the most part. Since this is the room of supernatural beings, though, it's less... They're not giving them as wide a berth as... It's more of a conscious wide berth than the sort of subconscious stay away from these beings, I don't know why, that mortals tend to encounter. They're just kind of... They've put themselves in a position to watch everything that's going on in the room, basically. Also in this room, there's this little... On one side, we see also Cagliostro is here. And Virgil and Mia are talking to him right now.
Can you remind me who Cagliostro is?
Cagliostro, Count Alessandro Cagliostro, the Marshal of the Gate.
Oh, he's
he's the one that recognized. He knows Kai, but Kai doesn't.
And like got really weirdly formal with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, he's up top, looking fairly solid. He's in the Velvet Room, so he doesn't have to concentrate quite as much. So so he might be a little see-through right now, possibly. But if there are guards outside the Velvet Room to keep people who do not have the appropriate access from coming in. So that is kind of what is going on right now. Who else is in here? There are a number of beings in here. Probably a fair mix of vampires. There are some vampires in here also. From Central Casting, because they do not have names. As of yet. Most of them don't. It seems that... they're sort of clustered toward the side of the room that's closer to the reception room that's closed off and housing the meeting. There's kind of clustered around this one central figure who is he's not too tall, slightly taller, sort of slightly heavy-set gentleman, with kind of black hair with lines of gray. That's, I think, most of the folks who are in here right now, aside from assorted extras.
Delphina Jenna in here, or was she coming in later?
Not yet. She's gonna come in a moment. She has to extricate herself from her conversation with her nephew, which probably will happen very shortly. So she'll be arriving in a moment.
I'm gonna sidle up next to Mallory.
Hey.
Hey.
Having fun?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it fun. I think I figured out what happened to Serena's friends, though.
Oh, what? Can you say, or is it one of those secret things?
I mean, I wasn't told not to, but pretty sure they got statuified for a moment or a couple of days.
Oh, the Medusa?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think it was intentional, or if it was, Priya seemed pretty nonchalant about it, so I'm assuming they're going to be okay.
Is the statue here?
One of them is.
Cool. Can you show me which one after?
Yeah.
Assuming all this. Sweet.
Totally.
This will be the most exciting thing I've seen all... It's been a lot of time, like... It's like a reunion where people know you don't necessarily know them, and you just get in this long talk about how is everything.
Oh, God.
And there's no food.
when you go home after so long and like you need to meet your parents' friends and they've known you since you were a kid and you've met them like twice and you're expected to like, no, it's not your parents' friends, it's your grandparents' friends, and like, oh, I've heard so much about you, and I'm like, I met you when I was 4. I don't remember you.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
It's really hard when everyone is like at least 100,
900
maybe.
years old.
Yeah, there's just let you know. She'll kind of like not say this super loud. Pretty much everybody in the supernatural circles are here. It's like she'll kind of like politely, point, gesture without, pointing. It's like werewolves.
Yep.
Vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you don't like. They might want to sex, so just avoid those ones.
Oh no. Well, I mean, some of Serena's followers are all weird, but the one who came up to me the other day, she's already trying to re-recruit me into their cult. So
which one was that one?
The Ileana.
Oh, you mean the weird hunter?
Yeah.
That one give you trouble?
Well, I turned her down, obviously. She seemed bummed about it and kind of, was giving me all these lines about like, you can have a normal life and we can make sure you're okay and all that kind of stuff. That it really pings the cult radar.
Yeah, how shifty is this? Next time we see her, might need some twist some heads off sort of thing? Or is it just...
I don't know if it's necessarily twist some heads off so much as body blocking. I don't think she's far enough up the ranks for the head twisting.
You're never too high up.
That's true.
Just you're being annoying. But if they're here, there's probably more of them.
Yeah.
So
she also told me not to talk to Delphina Jenna, who I'm supposed to talk to tonight. So that was another...
That's the thing. You just people tell you not to talk, but you have to talk to them at some point.
I gotta talk to somebody.
What they say. They say the...
You see, you're going to see passing by, actually. Virgil has actually kind of stepped away from his conversation for a moment because he's on the phone with somebody. And he's sort of having... It's not exactly an argument. And he's like, yeah, no, I know. No, it's fine. It's fine. And he sort of drifts by and he's like, okay, no, fine, all right. And he stops by and he says, hey, you two doing okay? Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
There's a thing that probably in about a better part of an hour that I'm going to be I'm going to be down the courtyard taken care of. Hopefully, I'm going to probably try to find out some things that we probably need to know. It's crap that's going on right now. So if you like helping out, that's kind of where we're going to be.
Mallory will lean forward. It's like, is this something that we should know?
And he says, I can't. He says, well, you got to be careful about how Roxy's down there prepping some stuff. But we think Cagliostro knows a lot more than he's saying.
Oh, obviously.
About the situation. He's tied something. Because he's got the whole gate thing going on, and Roxy's convinced that he's got the answers to this. So we're gonna get some answers out of him a little later. Okay.
Nope, not gonna ask that question. Nope. No. Nope.
Okay, is this going to be endangering either of us, or
no?
Perhaps our bosses? So.
No, it shouldn't.
All right.
Only once.
Fine then.
I mean,
yeah.
As far as what do you do on your spare time is not my concern, as long as it keeps our concerns out of it. Right?
Fair enough. Absolutely. But yeah, we're just trying to. Nobody's been saying anything. If there's one thing that Roxy knows how to do, it's how to leverage the dead. So kind of what we're about to work on. He says, and he's kind of slightly annoyed at that almost. And there's this
I think it's that same thing. Like Mallory is like, oh god, all right.
And they're actually when he says that also, there's this little squawk from the phone itself. It's sort of like, and it's like,
tell Roxy I said hi.
Kai says hello. She says hi. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I gotta. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're good. Excuse me. And he will turn around and head back.
Now he's gonna roll. Like the second he has this, she will roll her eyes. It's like,
well, I can't wait to see how that's gonna turn out.
these things are always like this. You always think everyone's secret. No one says what the hell they're doing, and you just hope that somehow you're not involved in it. I mean, someone might die, but his car's like, someone you know.
Like, what are they gonna do? The marshal at the gate, what are they gonna do? Tie him up in like silver handcuffs?
I don't know. Sacrifice them? I don't know. Summon something? Who knows?
I
don't know. Wolves are doing something. Wizards are doing something. Everyone's doing something, and I just want to get tonight over and maybe go home.
So
yeah,
it's going to be more or less at this point that Delphina will come into the room, and you can see from the cluster, just sort of looking back to the little cluster of people that Virgil is going to rejoin. You can see him sort of turn, and Mia just sort of grabs his arm and pulls him back. And he just kind of is like, he seethes for a second, glances back over his shoulder at in your direction, and then we'll turn back around. And Delphina will approach. And she steps forward. And looks. She nods to Mallory again, then turns to Kai. And it is good to see you in the flesh.
Yes. Good to see you in person.
Quite. Have you been able to sort out more? Are you doing better?
Oh, I wouldn't call it that.
I see.
I've seen more. I wouldn't call it sorting, and I really wouldn't call it better.
All right. Well, I can perhaps help to fill in some of the gaps, if you like.
Before we do, in the spirit of full disclosure, I would hope that we would both lean toward that. I was approached by a member of the Warriors of Apollo earlier this evening, who made some very sketchy, questionable, clearly bad-intentioned offers regarding being able to help and giving me a normal life and all that
What could they
other.
possibly have to offer you?
We didn't get that far because I told her no. But she did warn me off of talking to you. Obviously, I'm not following that warning, but was just curious as to, we've never met before, so I just curious as to why somebody who ostensibly has my best interest in mind, even though we both know that they don't, would warn me away from talking to you.
I see. Well, I think perhaps we should speak somewhere a little bit more private so that
Oh, you mean not in front of the werewolves and the vampires and everybody else?
Right. Would that be all right?
I give Mallory a look. Like...
She'll give kind of like...
You want to come with?
Well, that means
Buddy
it's going to be a while.
system.
Sure.
Yeah.
She knows this meeting's going to take a while.
Yeah. If you don't mind, is it Delphina, Miss Jenna? How should I refer to you?
You may call me Delphina.
Delphina, thank you. If you don't mind, my friend, I trust her. We can say anything in front of her. Will join us.
Most of this knowledge is not for outsiders, but this is up to you to decide, so very well.
She knows what's going on, so...
Understood. And, let's see, so she will note that. Let me just check my schedule of where everyone is hanging out right now.
Oh.
So, let's see. Places to chat privately right now will include, let's see. So we have the option of going to the chapel. We have the option of going to the primitives room. We haven't seen the primitives room yet.
Chapel is perhaps not the wisest plan with Mallory on board.
That's fair. That's fair. I think she'd probably either want to take you to the primitives room or to the which is J, which is I don't think been revealed yet, or to one of those nooks in one of the little rooms. So I don't know if they're finished.
With like the creepy statues.
Creepy alcove room.
Yeah, so it's either probably going to be the primitives room or the creepy alcove room.
I have no preference.
Okay. I think actually that probably there will still be some... There are probably still some models left hanging out in the area leading up to the creepy alcove room, so they'll probably just go to the primitives room, which is more private just because it's further away than anything else. But yeah, it's one of those things. Does this have
us passing the really gold dressing rooms that I was in earlier?
Yeah, you can do that.
Because then I'll nudge Mallory and point at the statue.
Yeah, she wants to take you. The faster way is up through the ballroom and into the hall, and so you'll pass by the door, then you can see in.
Yeah, I'll
as you're heading through the fourth arm gallery. Let me go ahead and I'm naming rooms. Let me go ahead and put the map back in. So yes, you're back. We're back outside where the fashion music is thrumming. So yeah, So Mallory, you get to look through. You see that though you do glance through into the dressing room, and you see that there's one statue that's sort of someone robed that's standing by one of the mirrors, doing some weird pose, and then there's a statue on the other side standing by one of the mirrors of a young woman looking in your direction, looking slightly terrified and amazed, wearing somewhat more modern looking clothing as it happens.
Mm-hmm. I think she'll gawk, and I think Kai's like, oh wow, it does that to the clothes too. That's wild.
Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a very good special effect. So, let me see. Where are we? What are we doing? Who knows? Oh yes, primitives room. This is room number J.
Oh, that's not a big. Ooh.
Let me go ahead and display that.
Oh dang! Another gold room.
There's just so much gold.
It's actually,
the gold room is not a good descriptive of
yeah, it's not a good description.
It's actually kind of more brown when you're from another angle. So it's more when it's being lit up, say like a flash camera by a flash camera, it looks more gold. There is gold in there.
It seems like it's less dense.
Yeah. It's a fairly big room, but not as many people kind of go in there because it's off the main track.
Yeah.
So it's possible to sort of gather in a corner and have kind of more of a private conversation. It's mostly just mortals in here right now.
Cool.
Foolish mortals. There is, some of the they're like a few, fashion people in here, basically, but that's not many. So, so Delphina will take you sort of into one of these corners and sort of look at you, like, okay. So, I am not going to presume to insult your intelligence by telling you things that you may have already determined between the time we last spoke and now. Have you found out about the Pythia?
Oh yeah, that's been discovered.
Do you understand its purpose?
I understand its purpose is to have visions. I'm not 100% sure why.
The visions are meant to benefit mankind. Yes, they're meant to help to guide society. And that is the use that they are put to when it is possible. But as you may note, there are many who seek to usurp that power, or just are offended by it, as the Apollonians are. But I am perhaps jumping too far ahead here. What as yet do you need to know?
Oh, what I need to know and what I don't know could both fill several novels worth of paper. But how in the world is a vision full of such destruction meant to help guide humanity? It's not like, these two people need to meet and make an agreement to avoid war or anything like that. I mean, like, shit's just on fire everywhere in the city.
Really?
And I don't, obviously avoid that would be nice, but there's not a whole lot of detail on what actually is happening to be able to do anything.
Huh. Yes, and many times they are warnings meant for us, meant to be interpreted to see how to direct things. But you have seen,
Part of it's already happened, so.
Has it?
Yes. Small part, but part.
You've seen, so you've seen a vision that is of destruction. Yes, fire.
Yes. Fire was a big part.
Did you see all of it?
Everyone keeps asking me that, but it's not like there's a progress bar at the bottom of the vision. I don't know how far I've gotten in it.
I see.
Again, upgrade recommendations for next time.
My understanding is that there's another point where there is a... My understanding is that there's a point where there is a uniting of a crown and a set of horns. I have heard about that.
Horns are new. I knew about wings.
The wings. That I have not heard about. Is there...
I have another question while we're at this, and while I have you here. How in the world is it that I am the Pythia, I am the Oracle, and I'm not the only one having the vision? Like, shouldn't it be just me? How do you know stuff that I haven't seen?
She is, she stops for a second. She stops herself for a second, considering what to say. There are those of my people who are dedicated to the protection of whoever bears the mantle of the Pythia.
So what, you
That
got the
is why I know.
DVD extras of the Vision and I didn't? I got the Netflix version.
Well, it's more that I did. I have only knowledge of the first part of the Vision. Oh. And it might entirely be different for you. It is different for every Pythia. But there was hope that it would be resolved, because at the time that your predecessor perished, she was not able to get out the whole thing.
So I'm having a continuation of her vision?
I think so.
That explains why it feels like it started in the middle.
I see.
And why you know things that I don't about it.
We can protect you
Who's we?
if you wish to be away from this. Myself and others of my order.
And what order would that be? I'm assuming not your capital F family.
One becomes a member of a number of different orders, but it is true that
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the co-op board, so I get it.
But there are those of us in the of the Magia Nostra who are those of us who have certain gifts, who also, some of us also understand the importance that the visions you receive mean, what they do and how they help to guide society. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to tell you here. But I urge you to keep an open mind. I do belong to the Order of Theodosius. We cared for your predecessor right up through to the end of her life.
Cared for or cared for?
The end of the life came pretty quickly.
And kind of inconveniently, you've got to admit.
That I do admit. Absolutely. You must understand, not all who bear this mantle are strong enough to do so on their own. They need help. For you, it is very new. We don't know yet.
No, we don't.
But I suspect I know there's far more. Your ability, I think, will far outstrip hers. You were able, within your first month of bearing this mantle, to use it to manifest in my presence.
Yeah, I 100% meant to do that.
But this is this is a thing that takes years for some, for many. You have great ability.
I need to bullshit check this.
All right, you want to figure her out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Mallory thinks this is bullshit, because this is a lot of like
something about
your power thing. There's not like
this started out, Kai was kind of on board, and then it got a little, like, when it became very like, you're super powerful and you've done this, pinging all kinds of
This is
bullshit
like, this is
radar.
like, we want shit, we want shit from you that we don't necessarily care what
Yeah.
happens to you talk.
Yep. So let's see, there's figure someone out, which is, which would be a rolling with mind if you want to get access to those questions. And there's also any number of things you might also do supernaturally if you want, but that's up to you.
Let me read what those questions are. I still have 2 from my foretellings too.
Yes, that's true. You can always declare something terrible is going to happen, and give everyone +1 to prevent it.
Ongoing to prevent it.
Yes.
I'm gonna stick with figure someone out and
Okay.
then see how that goes before I do any supernatural crap.
Okie doke. 8.
All right.
So on a 7 to 9, they hold 1 on you as well. Also, funny thing about this, and this is important, and they put it at the end of the list. You are both in the same faction,
We are.
so you each get an additional question.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I can't read that. I need to get a bigger version.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I need to just open
So
a
you
PDF.
actually get 2 questions off this list.
Oh, sweet. Good.
She also gets 2 questions of you, but that's so the way that I've seen this traditionally worked is that that we usually do this is we ask the question out of character and then figure out how it gets found out in character sort of as we go.
Okay.
Sort of weave it in.
I want to. Who's pulling her strings?
Mm-hmm.
And what is your character? What is she hoping to get out of me?
Okay. All right. So we'll start there. And then I will start asking my questions in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So who's pulling your character's strings? Let's see. All right. So she'll kind of volunteer that she'll say, "You must understand, I understand that you perhaps have heard certain things about us. I will tell you anything you wish to know. I wish to be honest about this with you. But here's the thing. We operate largely in those of us who are of arcane power are at the top, and we work in a concerted fashion. Sometimes, however, there are those of us who do not agree with each other. There are a few main families that generally are involved. Those arcane practitioners from a few main families. Now, I think there are those who are present when, and actually I need to pull up. Sorry, I want to pull up a thing right in front of me here so that I will have more names right at my fingertips, without having to flip back and forth through my Excel sheet. I forgot to update the chart. I forgot to update. There was not much of an update last time, but I forgot to update the chart. I will do so. I will do so soon. I think I just had a couple of connections to throw in there. I think that was all from last time. But, yes, got it. When Lena passed, there were many who... There were some who...
Who, was it Nina who said?
Yeah, when Lena passed. Lena was
Lena,
the previous...
okay.
You've heard Lena's name before. Lena was the previous
Okay.
oracle. When Lena passed, there were many of us, some of us at least, who were almost practically ready to go to war to find you. I counseled them to take a calmer approach to this. One gets, and it is a practical matter, one gets far better results out of an oracle who is cooperating willingly. That is what I believe. However, so there may be some dissent, but I am not here to kidnap you.
Well, that's reassuring.
It seems the Apollonians are, however, and it's going to be more of a concern very soon then. If you see one, you're going to see more. And this is also, to clarify also, as far as out of character goes, so that I'm fulfilling my thing here. So who's pulling your character strings is basically, there's a bunch of them.
Okay.
That work in concert, that are supposed to work in concert, but they're more sort of individually.
Kind of splintering a little.
Yeah. So she has a certain degree of control. But, there are others who perhaps are less less kind about it. Let's see. And your other question was what
does she want out of me?
Okay. So as we continue, and you kind of sensed from when she said those who cooperate willingly. But well, yeah, there. Well, one other thing she will say is there's right now we are on the potential eve of crisis, and in my opinion, you're exactly where you need to be right now. You're exactly where you need to be right now. In the future we can discuss, but my hope is that we can have an even exchange and cooperate with each other willingly. And so basically your sense from what did your character want from me? Ultimately, she'd like you to come with her to go to her to the special place in Venice or wherever it is. But what she really more importantly, more urgently wants from you is help, kind of keep not having Rome destroyed tonight.
That's fair. I think we can get on board with that statement for right now.
Yeah. And she has questions also. And I think she'll, as part of that, just sort of be asking. You seem concerned, and what the question is going to be is, what does your character worry might happen?
Primarily, everything Kai has heard about Lena. Kai doesn't know anything about Lena besides that she existed, she was the previous Pythia, and is now dead. And that she expired mid-vision, so didn't die of, the likelihood of old age taking her at that exact moment is just way, way too slim. So Kai's worry is that somehow in all of this mess with the words of Apollo and now Theodosius and this all vision thing, Rome burning, their concern is that they are going to end up dead and have no control over it.
Okay. So, the thing is, she says, I do understand this is a lot to take in and there is a lot to do tonight. But I assure you, we can make it so that there will, after tonight, be plenty of time and plenty of space for you to do what you need to get a handle on this. And the hidden question in there is, how could I, that she has her second question, and that is basically, how could I get your character to come willingly with me to the apartments in Venice after this is all done?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about that for a second.
Ooh.
To come willingly, she would need to promise and keep this promise. Otherwise, Kai will find a way out. That Kai will still have their freedom. They're not going to get locked in some, apartment, basement or attic apartment, never allowed to leave. That they will be able to leave, see their friends, see their family, go out for a walk, that they are not a prisoner. She'll need to convince Kai that they won't be a prisoner if they go with her.
I see. Okay. So she's going to lean forward a little bit, just conspiratorially. Almost. Like, after tonight, I will have there will be a certain amount of, let's see, bringing people in line I shall need to do. To try to make certain this transition for you is as easy as possible. I will not trouble you until I have ascertained what's the proper thing. Until I see a path to that. But then, you may wish to consider it. You don't have to decide now. But
again, I would come willingly, my own free will, and be able to leave of my own free will. I will not be a prisoner.
I would like that to happen. I am going to bring, in the days to come, I shall bring people in line on it.
I have your word on that?
You do.
I just met you. How do I know your word is good?
That is... well... You are, she says... This is why I give you time.
All right.
Very well. Now, and I think as this is happening, I think she's going to let me just check other. Let me just really quick check other crap that's going on tonight. Good. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I think this will roughly be a point at which someone's going to come in, and it looks like it's Al actually. Al is gonna sort of look into the room, and he's gonna come in. He looks back and forth, looks both ways, and he looks over and he sees the three of you. He sort of leans in and he's like, and Delphina's like, apparently I am needed. They're probably going to have. They're probably going to ask a few of us into the reception room shortly. Should you need something, she says, do not hesitate, and she'll take out a card from she has a pocket. She has a concealed pocket. She will take out a card, and she will hand it toward you.
Like business card.
Yeah.
Okay. Kai does the same. Out of pocket of their suit, pulls out basically their tarot reading business card, but it's got their business number on it. A way so that Delphina has a way to reach Kai that does not involve knowing where Kai lives, having Kai's personal cell phone number, any of that.
Yeah.
I know this is for bookings, and you probably don't need me for that, but...
Of course. And as she hands it to you, she... You look, it's just her name and a number. Let's see. Got it. If you're in immediate danger, tear it, and I will come.
That's a neat trick. All right. Mine doesn't do anything fancy like that. It's just, it's a picture. It's a stylized. It was a photo shoot of Kai in the position of the magician card.
Oh yes,
on
nice.
one side, and on the other side has all of their contact information.
Yeah.
So mine doesn't do anything fancy like that. You've actually got to push the buttons on your phone.
She smiles as she glances at it and looks up. Just a little grin. She looks up. Well, perhaps we can work on that. And she twirls her hand and the card vanishes like up her sleeve or something. And then she turns and walks toward Al, who acknowledges the two of you. You both know Al.
Wave. Friends with Al.
Yeah. So what are you folks doing now?
I'm gonna look at Mallory. Go. So was that a really bad decision?
I don't know. I mean, do you trust them?
Not in the least, but I trust you, Manny, and Serena right now. So maybe Virgil. Definitely Virgil. Mostly because I've got one over him, but
they're a pain in the ass. All of them.
Yeah.
But she at least was a little more transparent.
Yeah, a little. I got fewer cult vibes from her than I did.
But there were a lot of conditional words in there.
There's also,
if I can keep people in mind, if I can do this.
Exactly, and I didn't commit to anything. It was like, these are my rules. And I mean, Olympia, Miss Fortunato wants to see me in the room after all their signing stuff is done, so.
Yeah, it's going to be figuring out a lot of who wants what for you, and if that depends on if you're alive or not, or how.
A lot of that depends on if I'm alive.
But yeah, they could be trustworthy, but who knows how those winds blow. They may have they may have leverage over the others, and I don't know how their power structure works. I honestly kind of don't want to know, considering how the way they talk. It's a lot of this hoity-toity kind of like I'm better than you sort of thing, and it's like I just don't want to deal with that most of the time. And I have to now because one of those assholes has my suits.
Oh. Voltaire, right?
Yes. But if you can negotiate for any sort of assurances, if she can put something that concretely.
I don't know if I'd trust it even if she could.
Yeah. I'm saying it's like you might.
Wonder if they let me do remote work and stay in Rome. Zoom in for words. You just zoom in when I've got a vision, just with a really annoying Zoom ringtone. And
I mean, if that's how that works and everything. But it might be worthwhile looking for people that can do stuff for you also, because I get the hint that a lot of these people would love to have the Oracle.
Oh yeah, a lot of people would.
And maybe having somebody in your corner isn't the worst.
Yeah. Super weird that the previous Oracle died mid-vision, right?
It's not weird, it's sketchy.
Okay, I'll take sketchy, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think the Oracles, honestly...
I don't think we lived that long.
I was about to say, that's not the most comforting thing, but I get the hint, yes.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe I can break a record.
Hopefully, I'm hoping. I mean, if they want to messes with you, I will,
Appreciate that.
You've seen the train station, right?
I think everybody has seen the train station
Good.
At this point.
Good, I can maybe leverage that stuff, some business dealings, who knows?
I got a guy who makes cards, like if you wanted business cards, if you wanted to put that on one side and your contact info on the other.
Yeah, maybe a demon smashing another demon into a train would be good.
It'd be a good promo image, it really would.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear on which demon you are, though. Maybe, have you in color and the other one in black and white?
Yes. Hell yeah. Yeah, just be careful. I mean, I'm not... Look at me, look at where I am. I'm not the best judge of character or making the best decisions, so...
Yeah, who is, though?
Yeah, hopefully you have a better record than I do. I'll be doing this for a long time.
I feel like at some point I gotta align with somebody. I can't... I feel like not aligning with anybody is not particularly good for longevity.
Yes, it's... A lot of the way that all this shit works is...
works out, yeah.
I don't like doing it. I have to do it.
I liked it a lot better. It was like I understood things a lot better when I was just fleecing tourists for reading tarot. Occasionally I'd stumble on something right, but mostly it's just cold reading, and bullshit. And I didn't worry about people coming after me for my life. If anything, they'd be like, I want my euro back, and be like, no, there's a policy. So yeah.
I mean, small cons and that sort of thing. You didn't expect to be boiled, maybe the top commodity and all this.
Yeah, that happened fast.
Yeah, it was like
2 days ago.
2 days. Imagine doing this for the rest of your life.
Oh god. Makes almost makes being like locked in a tower in Venice look palatable. Almost. But we'll see. If she pulls through, she comes through with it. I think the more important, more immediate problem, though, is surviving tonight. I think that might be a problem for both of us.
You heard them.
Yeah.
About tonight. There's a lot of shit happening tonight.
There's so much shit happening tonight.
I just don't want to be a part of any of it if I don't have to.
Shit. Virgil's got a thing against her. If he takes her out, there's no deal. I bought myself 24 hours with that. That's a tomorrow problem. That's not a tonight problem.
Unless it's too tempting. I mean,
yeah. I don't think he's ever. I don't think he. It's a revenant thing. He can't not go after her at some point. But again, that's a tomorrow problem. And who knows? Maybe this whole like torture the marshal of the gate for information thing will backfire on him, and he won't be a problem.
Perhaps everyone dies in a giant fire and whatever wing thing happens, and you know what? This is all the least of our problems.
And then this is really not a problem at all. Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably end up in hell, and that's not gonna be great. So
I'll see what I can do about getting you out. I'm sure I've got some pull. I know Charon. You know, we had a little dialogue, a little.
I think you might need a little more than pull. There was some paperwork involved. Handshakes, all this. She'll point at her tattoos. It's a whole deal.
I'll see what I can do. If I'm still alive, I'll see what I can do. All right.
Sounds good.
Can't promise much, but.
I mean, who can?
Yeah.
We're all kind of. As much as everyone seems to be sure of their plans, I think everyone's just kind of winging it.
Oh yeah, everyone seems so sure of everything. I mean, y'all lived through 2020. Come on.
This is my brief point where I'm going to remind the audience that this takes place at an undefined time in the near future. This is also. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Mal's just saying. At least we're out here and we're not in the meeting room. Those things.
Yeah. And
it's unbearable.
And I feel honestly. Like that. I feel like that's like the perfect cue for. At this point, you see that that one impressive-looking vampire. Well, he's not that impressive. Well, he's kind of impressive-looking. He was the one that everyone was sort of circling around. This guy who you believe is a vampire comes into the room, and will approach. The gentleman sort of with the gray-streaked black hair, and we'll look at the two of you. Excuse me. And he looks to Kai. You're Kai?
Who are you? Can I put a face to a name?
Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah. This one has a name, so you may do so.
Oh, okay.
So you can roll. You may choose if you wish to roll with night.
Night, sweet. That's what I needed.
Or with mind.
Night.
I needed night.
Yep. Yep.
I got a 4. I do not know who this is.
I'll go with night. Let's
Sure.
And remind me what happens when I've marked all 4 factions. Do I just put a +1 somewhere?
Yeah. Well, when you mark all 4 factions, then you get to if you have the you get to do the leveling up thing, which is basically you get to take an advance. You have a list of advances there somewhere, which means you could get a +1, or you could get a new Oracle move, or you could get a move from another archetype, or you could change factions.
Oh, that's right. Marking the factions is how you level up in this game. Okay, I gotcha. Sorry.
No, no worries.
I've leveled up like twice in this game over the span of months. So
The span of 11 episodes.
in-game time, like 48 hours.
48
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
All right, I'll figure it out. But
no
I
worries.
don't know who this person is.
Yeah, no. I think you were in different circles from
Yeah.
the vampires. Mallory, you do know who this is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based to a name, so I don't think anything weird happens here. It's just you know who it is. With a hit. You know their reputation, what most people know about them. Okay. Let me finally look and see where I put this in. He goes by the name Lucius Vitali. He oversees security for the Empress, the vampire Empress, who lives in Rome. What is known about him? He's been around since Rome was an early empire. So it's said. I say, well, yeah, early empire period. I think, if I recall absolutely correctly, yes. They when they were starting to have emperors. You think he might kind of recognize you, and he knows your tattoos anyway.
Mm-hmm. He knows, do not.
He knows who you work for, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And
I imagine that like Mallory has a little bit of a game to like get vampires to like try and like bite her, just because it's like drinking it's probably like drinking something like very, very painful and hot.
Yeah.
She's got like demon shit, and it doesn't hurt her that much. It's just it's funny.
He probably works more on the younger ones, but
the young.
He will look over at Kai and say, "Your presence has been requested in the reception room."
By whom?
By Miss Fortunato.
Oh, I should probably attend to that. I forgot I took. I totally forgot I had skimmed the surface. I could have done a lot of cool shit with that. Oh well. So yeah, I should attend to that. I should go. I don't know. Kind of a bad decision evening. Might as well. I mean, what am I gonna do? Tell her no? She doesn't really strike me as somebody you say no to.
If you say no, I mean, you could always make sure you get a cool pose in before,
Quick selfie. I mean, would she show up on, how would that work? Oh, no, that's not the path I'm going down right now. But whether, if I took a selfie with her, if that would be, looking through the mirror or looking into her eyes, and whether that's enough of a, veil between her eyes to prevent statuing. I don't want to find out. I don't.
You don't want to test out, see where the limits are.
Yeah, I really don't. I am gonna head back and see what she wants, though.
Yeah, maybe
a Sharp wants you.
Probably. Check in. Can at least tell him what's going on.
Yeah.
And maybe you get answers too at some point.
You're
All right.
To the reception room?
Yep.
All right. You head back through. back through the back through the ballroom and the velvet room.
Mm-hmm.
Back through the halls into the ballroom into the velvet room, and
Going.
they will at the door. They will let Kai through, and Lucius has actually been escorting you, basically there. So just to make sure that no one bothers you, basically, on the way. And I think that as you sort of get to, I will once again, display for the audience. I will once again display the reception room, which folks have access to at this point, I believe. Let me go ahead and grab that here, just so that folks can hopefully see it. Here we go. Big reddish room, lots of paintings covering available surfaces. Right now there is a meeting table in the center. I think that what'll happen here is that they're only supposed to let Kai in, but if you catch Sharp's eye, if he sees that you want to come in, he'll just sort of shrug and be like,
yeah.
He'll sort of gesture and they'll let you in. So in this room, in this reception room, they apparently they're calling a few people into this room, since there are going to be more people in here than there were before. The people who were originally in here are the ones sort of that are still seated at the table. So you see Olympia, who's going to stand up and actually start moving toward Kai. You see Duchess Gloriana, who will wave at you. You'll see Mr. Sharp, who will just be like, just kind of very, very casually, just like, okay, fine. And you will see, in addition, John Bernardo, who is sitting at the table. He is, again, just as a reminder, tall, thin individual, sort of a puffyish face, but friendly-ish. And dark hair, and he's wearing a suit. He's wearing a nice suit tonight. It's not like Versace level or anything. It's a fairly humble suit, but it's it's good for this party at least. And then also seated at the table is what looks sort of a smaller woman. She looks like she's about maybe like 5'3". She has dark hair down to her shoulders. Pale skin. And let's see, she's wearing a very elegant black and silver gown. Black and silver dress, very, which looks like there's a lot to it. It's one of those dresses that there's a lot to it. It looks very appropriate for this party. And in addition to her, also in here you have you're going to have coming into the room. You have Delphina coming into the room. You have Galerius coming into the room. Mario is coming into the room. And Cagliostro is coming into the room.
Cool, everyone.
Because they apparently have been summoned in. Does anyone wish to? So the only person there that we've not identified yet is the well-dressed woman. Does anyone wish to do face to a name on her?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is with Night.
Cool. There's been a lot of Oh, jeez.
Oh, I have a negative
Wow.
2 with Night. Let's see how this goes.
Damn.
Yeah, well, you can also, by the way, before you roll that, remember, the custom move here for this event is you can use Mind if you would prefer. You can
That
still
is-
mark Night, but
That is... Oh no, Malvidas will not roll.
Yeah,
Fine.
I'll roll with Mind.
yeah.
Logically, because I'm pretty
Because-
sure I know who she is. I feel like I might have that.
Well, actually, I'm
moment, too.
sorry. Wait a minute. Let me think about this. That's not
No.
face to a name. I got that wrong. Also, I apologize. I was thinking of. I apologize. My custom move, by the way, that I was talking about, that was for Hit the Streets. That was not for. That was not for face to a name. So actually, I'm sorry. You can go ahead and roll with Night. There we go.
How
okay.
is that bad? I have a negative 2 with Night.
Hey,
How
wait.
did I get better?
Wait, did we both crit
both-
this thing?
We both crit on that.
You both
Yeah,
critted.
we know who this person is.
Yeah, we know who that is.
And this is freaking amazing, also because of who you're critting on here.
Uh-oh.
It's always you're always critting on these people. Okay.
Maui has okay connection despite being just a total
So
asshole.
here we go. So this is, once again, you both will have the choice when I tell you who this is, and we're gonna go to break in a moment. You'll get to think about it over break,
Oh,
whether you
boy.
want a debt from this person or whether you want to know something, learn something interesting and useful about them. Okay. So she goes by the name Valerian Asana. She is known as she's a vampire. She is a philanthropist.
Oh, yes.
It would seem, has a lot of interest in banks. But her real name is Valeria Messalina. She was once Empress of Rome, and by the grace of Providence, she has become Empress again, at least of the vampires. She is Empress of the Grand Domain of Italy, Greece, Albania, and southern France. And, of course, her seat of power is here in Rome. So, congratulations. You have just, you have just rolled one of the ultimate name faceries.
Yes.
As,
I
this is one of the
Icon.
most awesome people in the city to
Little high
have
five
indebted
to
to you.
Mallory.
yeah. Like we both have a look of like we know who the hell this is.
And we'll
We
start
know.
figuring this out when we come back. We will be going on break.
So our options are to have a debt. She has a debt. We have a debt on her, or we know something about her. Okay.
Oh God.
And I just wanted to give you a moment to think, since this is, basically, you're getting. Congratulations! You can get something from the Vampire Queen. We'll be back in a few minutes. See you folks shortly. we have returned, and we are joined by a special guest. What's the name of the special guest?
This one is Odo.
Oh, no.
He was eating plastic, so
No.
he's in Mom's lap now. Oh, bud.
Awesome. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So we are returning to the reception room in the Palazzo Doria Pamphili. And
Bye.
yay, cat. The first thing I guess we need to know is that what your decisions were with respect to the Empress, the Empress Messalina.
Oh.
Kai, I couldn't figure out a valid reason for Kai to have a debt on her, so I would just know something.
Okay. And for Mallory, have you figured out kind of which way you want to go with it?
Yeah, I think it'd be funny to have her have a debt.
Okay.
I mean, she's prone to like these little side jobs that get her things. I think maybe it's, you know what, it might be like she like wrecked shop on like arrival, or like just got rid of someone.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely. So
it's just funny because I think she's the person that will like that could lord it over everyone else. Like it's like you don't.
1 second. I'm hearing something.
Yeah.
I think that one of my other videos is playing somewhere, possibly.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get that every so often too. It's like,
let me make sure that it's nothing that on my end here, because I just heard my own voice.
Yeah. I've had one of my streams like accidentally on it, like the background's like,
oh,
what the hell is that?
Okay. No, it's not coming from there. All right, I have no idea.
Ghosts.
It's ghosts. I am haunting myself, apparently.
The way to do it.
Yeah, you know, why pay a ghost to do it when you can do it yourself? That's what I say.
Yeah.
So yes, so Mallory, you helped tear up one of Messalina's rivals.
I think it was accidental too. It's like she didn't realize who it was until like. Oh,
it was probably,
okay.
So it was probably to be fair, this was probably someone that she saw becoming a problem.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This was probably a younger vampire, a considerably younger vampire, because once you get to a certain age, they get very, very hard to defeat in combat.
Yeah.
But well, by and large, anyway. But so this was probably someone who was just relatively recent. Maybe this was. Oh, we can tie some things together.
Yeah, let's make it
maybe now that I'm thinking about it. Hang on.
Make it messy.
Make it bad.
Okay. So, yeah, this was there was possibly some kind of. Yeah, so there possibly was a point a few years back that someone from one of the other imperial territories. There are a number of vampiric imperial territories, right? And there was. And here's the thing I'm tying it to, by the way. So there were a number of vampiric and imperial territories, and there was going to be a wedding taking place to tie the two territories to perhaps somewhat together more. Between not Messalina, but there was one of the ones in her immediate brood was going to get married to someone from another territory, and Kai, I think maybe this was the wedding.
All right, dig it.
and it all ended in tears. Tears of blood. Because it turned out that this person from the other territory, one of the other territories, who knows, the UK, whatever encompasses that perhaps, was like UK, Northern France and all that. We were trying to move in, and then it turned out Mallory ended up, just like shortly after the wedding, ending up gutting the guy. And it turned out it's like, well, that's that problem solved. So a fun little event, vampiric wedding that ended in more bloodshed than expected. Strangely enough,
like not they don't expect their blood.
Yeah, they never expect it when it's their blood.
Other blood, a lot of other blood, not theirs.
But that said, so in this room now at this point, so Messalina, of course, recognizes both of you, and she will nod. She's not going to stand, but she will nod. I think that so there are a couple of things happening here. As you enter, I think that there is. Yeah, I think there's an argument going on. And so that Galerius is like hunched over the table as he's sort of has stepped forward. And he basically is saying he's saying this to people at the table right now. So it's Messalina and Sharp and the Duchess. He says he's just saying no. Too often you have ignored our needs, and we represent the people themselves, and we're the only ones who are going to fight for them. I'm done. And he turns and he is walking out.
Who was saying that? Sorry.
That was Galerius, the werewolf, the leader of Via Lupus.
Okay.
And they're just sort of like they're kind of no one tries to stop him, but they just sort of are looking at each other and Sharp is just sort of throws his hands up in the air, and he's like, of course that'd be his reaction. And to this point, Cagliostro is just sort of looks over and he says, well, this is all very entertaining, but I'm afraid if there's not going to be anything getting done, I have an appointment. And to which Olympia just sort of is turned. She's like, and he steps out through the wall. You would have perhaps been a little useful. We'll know. Well, I suppose we'll know. I suppose we will know after. Olympia turns to Guy. Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
No, she wouldn't grab the bridge of her nose because there are Jackie O glasses in the way. But she turns. So that leaves in the room. Aside from the signatories, we still have Delphina and Mario in the room. You're very calmly sitting nearby, and at which point, I think Sharp will, looking over at Mallory, just sort of be gesturing, just sort of like, yeah, come here.
Meeting's going well.
Oh yeah, these are wonderful. These are great. Any sign of a friend? Sort of leans back.
Yes, I saw.
All right.
I saw her.
As soon as we get out of here, we can.
So
we can try to buckle down on it if we can.
It might need that because I got some information out of her that it will go on as planned.
Okay.
It just
All right.
requires her getting the object,
Yeah,
which
all that, yeah.
which may make that outburst from the werewolf a little more problematic.
Oh, that'll be fun. Oh, that'll be fun. All right, we gotta get going.
Because they have it.
And as you sort of were saying things, okay, that'll be fun. Yeah. All right. Hopefully, it'll just take a minute. Okay, what do we got? He just sort of is leaning forward, and Valeria just sort of looks over at him, and she says, "This is always what I've enjoyed about you, Sharp. Your very good manners. They've improved so much over the last 1,000 years." He says, "I know. What can I say? I'm lovable. Come on. What do we got?" And I think at this point, Olympia is just going to be like, "So something is so we need a bit of light. So we need a bit of light shed."
She's talking to Kai.
Yeah, we need a bit of light shed on the situation. She's talking to the people at the table, but she's
Okay.
next to you, and she will turn to you and say, "Would you be willing to talk to us about the vision?"
And so we've got Olympia, Duchess Gloriana, Sharp, John Bernardo, Weird Upstairs Neighbor,
Yes.
Delfino, and Mario in the room, and Mallory. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All people, if I don't necessarily trust, I at least would not run away from in a fight. Okay. Sure. What do you want to know?
And to this, oh, wait a minute. Stand by. I have to give you an interesting piece of information about Miss Alina.
Ooh.
Okay.
I
Yes.
forgot.
Ooh.
I have to tell you that.
I forgot
Because
she was in the
we
room.
figured out the debt, but we didn't figure out the information. And here's the information. Messalina is been doing everything she can. Traditionally, she seems to do this, but there is among her brood, there's a certain that they very much interact with society. They try to sort of do certain controls through media and what have you. But also, and so they're very sort of the very sort of classical social vampires, you might say. But she has been trying for some time now, you've discovered, through some means or other, to get a hold of anyone who has the blood of Caesar. I don't mean the original guy. I mean the descendants of Julius Caesar.
It wasn't something about Caesar related to the gate. I remember hearing blood of Caesar earlier tonight.
Yes,
And
the blood. Yes, that was something that Mallory heard from the Duchess, who had investigated the situation with the gate, because that was kind of one of the things you folks told the Duchess when you were over in Arcadia, in the land of Fairy. It's not actually. I don't think I've been calling it Arcadia. Arcadia might be a different thing. But in the Fey Realm, when you folks were over in the Fey Realm, that was mentioned to her. It's like, we got to figure out what's. And the Duchess was like, okay, I'll see if I can find out what else has been happening. And so she did that, and that was part of what she was telling Mallory earlier. That evidently someone descended from Caesar. Their blood ended up on the in use to break the gate in the first place. I feel as though, out of character, that because a lot of time has passed, that these particular pieces, these pieces are ones that are perhaps standing apart from each other at the moment. So I will just mention briefly. I don't know if Mallory has reconfirmed this to Kai at some point, but basically, what that means is it's just a confirmation that Gia was using Serena's blood at the gate. Was pretty much what that was.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, that was the only person that.
Yeah. And that was kind of the thing that helped kick off the whole problem, or that part of the problem.
The gate, yeah, that part.
The gate problem.
The gate problem. Good.
Problem number 12 of.
Yeah, problem number 12.
Yeah.
But anyway,
many problems.
But apparently Valeria Messalina has a. There is, she believes, apparently some kind of power to the blood of Caesar and having the blood of Caesar, and so the more of it you get, she seems to be able to do something with it.
Okay.
It's one of those weird pseudo-arcane vampiric things, so it's hard to know exactly what it is. So that is the thing that Kai knows somehow. Not sure how you know it.
At the wedding,
Maybe at the wedding, yeah.
Casual punch bowl talk.
Yes. It's like where they have to steer you. No, not that punch bowl. You want the other punch bowl.
No, do not.
For
you
don't living
want
people.
That red one.
Yes. So anyway, Olympia has asked Kai, would you tell us about the vision?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I, Sara, do not remember all the details of it, but Kai certainly do. And so look at Olympia. Where would you like me to start?
Let us, feel free to start at the beginning.
Well, it's recently come to my attention that I don't actually have the beginning.
Ah.
I can start somewhere in the middle. But somebody
and,
else will have to fill in the beginning.
Yeah. And, this is, that's sort of where there is nodding. And, you're asked to proceed.
And I tell them all I know.
Okay. And over the course of this, as they're listening to this about this vision, it sort of dawns, you see it dawning on everyone at the table. It's like why this person is here talking to them and who they must be.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who doesn't know already?
Yeah.
This is probably exactly what Kai wants, right?
Kai knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. Good.
The only one of them who looks impressed right now is Mario.
Isn't he just like hired muscle?
No, Mario's the boss. He's the Don.
Oh, he's the boss. Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah.
Oh.
Well done. That's what he's kind of thinking.
Man, someone appreciates my storytelling skills.
Yes, he does. He very much does. And so yeah. As I think over the course of it, some details get filled in. Delphina will provide some details from the other half of the vision. That, without necessarily explaining where she got it, but
Kai knows where she got it.
Yeah, totally. Kai knows, but Delphina will sort of mention that the beginning of the vision has to do with, again, with Castel Sant'Angelo and basically something being locked away and a door being And a clawed hand basically forcing a door open, an iron door open. And then, and it's a vision, right? So it's not giving you literally, but the door opens, and then something. How do I describe this? Shadowy tendrils of nothingness come streaming forth. Absolute void is the way that she describes it.
From the open door.
From the open door. And so the thought comes back around. We think this is Castel San Angelo. Is what at this point, I think that, let's see, who do we think is trying to piece this together? Everyone. So let's see. Messalina will sort of say this is from Castel San Angelo. Yes. Perhaps. Mm-hmm. Well, that would explain. And Sharp is just sort of leaning back. You see, this is what happens when you accuse Werewolf of a thing that they've done. So what do we think they did?
Opened a door.
At this point, Bernardo will lean forward and say, was there... Well, there's a tablet. A tablet, yes? You mentioned a tablet.
Yeah.
And, to which point Sharp just sort of leans over and says, well, looks like your stuff is safe, then. And, Bernardo says, 2 sentries are gone. My stuff, my stuff, as you put it, is not safe. There's problems over there, too, you know. And, he sort of shakes his head. Sharp sort of shakes his head. To which point, Mario will just sort of quietly, he'll just sort of be stroking his chin and say, "It's a pity Cagliostro left. He was imprisoned in there for a long time. No? He would know what's in there, yeah." Olympia just sort of throws her hands up. That's why I wanted him to stay.
How long has it been since I saw Virgil?
Virgil was not in the ballroom or the
Right,
velvet room when you passed through.
To Roxy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Was that about an hour ago?
It was close to an hour ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think I might know where Cagliostro is.
Well, if he has any, and at which point, I think Gloriano will just sort of look over at Sharp, who hasn't said much of anything, but at this point, Gloriana glances over at Sharp. Sharp stands up at this point, and he's like, "Oh, we're just gonna talk in circles if we don't figure this thing out." But I mean, this is. He shakes his head. I think I know a better way to look into this. And at which point Bernardo is just sort of going to say, well, let's not be too hasty on this. We don't know what they're doing over there. And Sharp sort of retorts with like, It's like, look, your buddies at the Vatican have got problems, all right? I mean, I can't believe I can't believe you even came to this thing.
I think you see like this entire thing
ready to
every time like the werewolf stuff comes. Like you just see Mallory's like eyes dart around. It's like, oh, what the?
Yeah, there's a lot of that ping pong, like that visual comedy of. Like,
there's a bit of.
I think she's like trying to piece of like, oh shit.
Why is my upstairs neighbor part of the Vatican?
Let me see here. Yes. At which point I think that. Let me see here. Sorry, there was a thought in my head, and it's trying to drift away. That would be terrible for it to drift away. Right. Yes. At which point, Olympia actually looks over. Actually, he's right. She says, looking over at Bernardo. Did you know of Ortiz's relationship with Vex? At which point, Bernardo slowly is like starting to stand up. What? What? At which point the lights flicker. For but a moment. And the phones of everyone in the room start going off.
Fuck.
The hell?
Let's see. Here's but a moment that there's this loud buzzing that's happening, and people are taking out their phones.
It's like when everyone gets an Amber Alert at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that yes. So, Mallory, are you looking at your phone?
Yes.
Something unusual happens. It seems that app that you never wiped off is has come on. And there is this trying to decide how I want to do this. Yes. So in this room, in addition to the paintings, there are some modern conveniences that have been placed here. Among them, there is a monitor that was not turned on. There's a monitor over on a desk that turns on, and this image plays on it as it plays on your phones. And you see Ms. Vex. And once again, she's very, very attractive. Very attractive, very dark hair and features. She's wearing like a red cocktail dress right now. And she says, let's see, what will she say here? I think you've greater problems than that, darling. You should see why it is that your friends... Wait a minute. No, she's going to... Let's see. Wait. Hang on. You gotta grab the thing. She says she will say, "Oh, Gian, you're so very easily misled. You're really the one who's providing them with everything. You should realize they're your sentries after all. But that said, you want to know why they're up in arms? I'll show you." And you see the screen gets replaced with several different images of Mallory. Taken last night at the train station. If anyone in this room is a threat to the security of Rome, and part of the reason why the Vatican are making their own little retaliation this evening, it is she. And yeah, so you see this, and it's already. And as you know, and she shows briefly the Bridge of Angels, and you can see, and this looks like it's from a news report, that sort of at the bottom of the screen is scrolling, Bridge of Angels vandalized. 2 of the angel statues are missing. And she says, "As you can see, with those sentries down, they're certainly not going to stop. You all don't have very long, I would say. Make myself scarce if I were you." And the screen just sort of, all the screens fill with static, and everyone in the room turns and looks at Mallory.
What? What? I smeared her little agent all across the train.
Sharp stands up very quickly. At this point, come on, she's just trying to drive a wedge in here, you know that. And I think that
Melly has this air now, like she's like, yeah, I did this. What? Arms crossed.
And Bernardo stands up, looking actually kind of sad and a little hurt. Mallory, you have not met this individual before.
Mm-hmm.
So also, if you wanted to do a face to a name at this point, you can, but it's entirely up to you. We're sort of.
We'll let it go. Yeah. She's in.
Yeah.
She's standoffish at the moment.
But he's just shaking his head. Some justification, anything.
Hey,
How
without
did this
me,
happen?
Hey, without me, no one would know that she's doing shit with the Cardinal, with this circle. Who do you think got that information, huh? And I got rid of one of her little minions, and that's why that train is like that.
So it sounds to me as though you're trying to persuade an NPC.
Yes.
Now, technically, persuade an NPC is done through seduction, promises, or threats.
Jeez.
So I think what someone's going to ask at this point to set this up is, I think someone's going to ask. And let me see who's going to ask this. I think probably it's going to be.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep it with Bernardo. He's sort of saying, I think he's too emotional right now. So someone is going to look over.
Everybody's
Maybe
emotional.
Gloriana.
So
Maybe Gloriana is going to look over and then look back to you and say, "How can you assure us that this is not that your actions are not going to lead to the very disaster we're trying to prevent?" And she seems a little pained when she's saying it, where because she likes you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we think? Are you? How do you answer that? And are you answering through something that might be considered seduction, promises, or threats, or what are we saying here?
I don't know how persuasive Mallory. I think her how she's going to reply is probably gonna, like, you can kind of gauge what the best thing for. But I think her reply would be, I mean, I don't know, this. I would think this secret, circle across Rome would be more concerning, and I think whatever I did surely can't be worse than what that is. Maybe that's what's doing all this. I don't know. And she definitely did bugged every one of your phones with that software. So who knows what she's doing? Maybe it's her. Maybe she's in charge of all this.
Okay, I see that as like indirect threat.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we could swing it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, this would be rolling with heart.
What the hell is my heart? Okay, it's not the worst. Okay, good. All right, persuade. There we go. Okay.
Ooh!
Damn.
Awesome. Okay. Excellent. So.
What the hell?
They do what you ask. Yeah. No, that was great. That was great. So, yeah, at this point, the tension is sort of like looking around. It's is there like, and I think Gloriana just turns to Sharp and says, "We have to do something about Vex." There's a long list of... Yeah, I agreed, but there's a long list of crap tonight, okay? Listen, he sort of stands up, and as he continues standing up, he's heading over to Mallory. We need to... Listen, we need to... It's like, listen, I think we're focusing on the wrong thing here, okay? And he is going to head over to Mallory. He's just going to very quietly, he's going to put his hands down on your shoulders. And if you'll out here, and he will say, and he will kind of quietly through gritted teeth, he will say, "Find her. We've got to get this done. Go."
Cool. I didn't think you'd say something I'd want to do on my own, but yeah, sure. She's been a pain in the ass this entire time.
And at this point, let's see. Let me check on the things on the thing where the plates are starting to move faster. Okay, yes, here we go. I think that Sharp is making as if to leave the room, and Olympia will actually stop him from it. He says, "There was a matter we needed to discuss, And Sharp is like, as he's just sort of looking around, he's like, Clearly we're not getting anything done right now. We don't know enough." And he sort of turns back to Kai, and he just sort of will say, I'm sorry, was there anything else you wanted to let us know?
Told you all I know.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. You've got a hell of a burden right now. I can, I can see that.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. Well, good luck. All
Thanks.
right. And he will. They'll be like, they'll just turn around and be like, okay, fine. And you can see that sort of the meeting, such as it is kind of sort of breaking up a little bit. And at this point, you can kind of there. Olympia just sort of will look briefly over at you and says, I think that you can head out if you want. Thank you. I'm going to try to figure out what all this means, what we need to do.
Can I? Who do I want to do with this with? Who's still in the room?
Okay. In the room still, Bernardo, Olympia, Gloriana, Messalina, and Sharp, the people who came in originally. Delphina and Mario are also in the room. They seem to be getting ready to. I think, that as Delphina is sort of standing up and is looking to probably. Yeah, she's going to attend whatever conversations are in here because she wants to try to figure out sort of how she can try to help or figure out how to find what they're looking for.
Okay. I think could I get close enough to Bernardo to like just accidentally
Sure.
brush up against him?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay. And I'd like to skim the surface.
Okay.
So I roll with spirit, and then I get some questions.
Okay. Nice.
I'm just gonna roll keep your cool because I don't.
Sure.
There's not just a roll spirit.
Sure, that's fine.
Oh shit! That's an 11. I
That's
get to
very
ask
good.
3 questions off this list.
Good
Very
rolls.
cool.
Good rolls.
So my questions are: do you just want all 3 of them, or do you want me to ask you one and you answer?
Yeah, this your reading is mine, so you can pretty much we can do them one at a time if you want.
Okay.
And,
so what is he thinking about right now?
Right now, well, right now he's sort of thinking about the floor dropping out from under him because he's like, after hundreds of years, the Vatican has become. It's like the Vatican was always a bit corrupt, but this is ridiculous.
And which part is ridiculous?
How could they have done this to me?
What is this specifically that he's
Ortiz basically being
okay.
Being in cahoots with Vex.
Okay. Okay.
And
yeah. This is an odd question, so I'm gonna ask it. What is his hidden pain?
Ooh.
His hidden pain is twofold. He has a very complicated conundrum happening. He has gone a long time without changing. But the purpose of his becoming immortal was to change. Because he felt that in life, in his regular life, he was not as good a person as he should have been. This was a conclusion he came to over a very long period of time. Which is part of the reason why he's tried to work with the moral leaders of humanity, so to speak. Or who he thinks of as the moral leaders of humanity. I'm going to make that clear, who this character thinks of as the moral leaders of humanity. It is twofold. Because, on the one hand, he's trying to make up for that. But now realizing that perhaps what he's been trying to protect and hold up has been completely counter to what he wants. And also the very fact that he has to be immutable like a statue in order to keep living so long. Maybe the very reason why he wasn't able to see it. Why he wasn't able to see what was going on right in front of him.
Okay. And then last question. Finish a note that I will never read again. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, y'all. I write a lot of notes and then I never look back at them. So, who are you protecting?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an interesting story. Because the answer is a little weird. He is trying to protect himself, but also his own graven image of himself. The person he is trying to protect. Let me perhaps explain there a little bit. There is a graven image of himself that he is very concerned about right now. Perhaps, but apparently the Vatican has it. And it's perhaps very, very tied to the fact that it's what's keeping him immortal. The image, this statue, this self-sculpture, is of Gian Lorenzo Bernini. This will be the point at which it will click with you, Kai, where it is you have seen his work before. It's all over the freaking city. And then you actually will get another little hint, another little thing that will come to you, actually. Building on that, because I'm just remembering something, and so let's include it here, shall we? Of course we shall. He's very concerned about, he's trying to protect also his work. And he is very concerned apparently about People, well, because he sculpted the angels on the bridge. But then, of course, he's very concerned about apparently there's something about a lot of statues in Rome that he's concerned about, and coins that he's been finding near them that is troubling him. And apparently this is...
Oh.
You're getting the sense this was something he brought up earlier in the conversation before we were in there.
So he's concerned about the coins he was finding around the statues that he did.
Some of his sculptures.
Okay.
You will, I think, at this point also look at the table. You'll see that there are a couple of coins where he was sitting at the table. So those might be the ones he was talking about.
Do those look like the one Gia showed me?
They do not.
Okay.
The coins, the surface that you're seeing, look fairly old, but they look they have what look like on one side 2 heads.
Okay, so I lied. I may go back and reread my notes because I know what that's a reference to, but can't track it. So maybe I do write all these notes for a reason.
2 heads facing in opposite directions.
Cool.
So you got a plethora of information from that.
I sure did.
It's a lot.
That's all I got.
Okay. So that said, you do that. And where are the 2 of you heading? What are the 2 of you doing? And you can be heading in separate directions, or doing whatever. Where are you folks headed?
I think Mallory's like, this is a little over her head. A lot of this, like, she lucked into maybe doing something good. I don't know. She doesn't know. Her number one person that she has to deal with is Sharp, and she's like, okay, which are we doing the thing first, or are we?
Yeah, he has told you. Yeah, he's basically told you through his teeth to go and find, to go and find Julissa, essentially.
Right. I think she's gonna she's gonna go.
He's very concerned about getting that tablet.
Yeah. I think before, like, she's gonna, okay, she'll do that, but I think before, like, okay, if you're gonna get that thing, doesn't go through, it's the werewolves. Werewolves have it.
Mm. But yeah, he's been pulled back into the room because Olympia wants him for something, so he can't come with you right this second.
All right, she's going to go to Kai. It's like, all right, so what's your plan? Because I have to go. I apparently gotta go fuck up a demon or something like that.
Oh, that sounds fun. Best of luck with that. You did really good with the last one, so.
Yeah, well, that was the my counterpart. I'm punching a little bit higher. Hopefully.
I have faith in you. You can do
Good.
it.
I would say, to be safe, you should come with. But judging by what happened at the train station, that might not be a great idea.
I mean, so I'm not 100% confident being solo right now, just because there's a bunch of shit going on, and Delphina talked a good game, but I only bought myself 24 hours of keeping her away from Virgil, so
yeah. All right.
So yeah, I can hide really well, so if shit does go down, I can do that. But if you don't mind, I will come with.
I mean, when I say hide, you have to hide,
Yeah, I got it.
right? Also, if you can take pictures, that'd be great too.
Oh, totally. I got you.
Oh my God.
I got you. Do you have a preferred filter or anything, or just straight up?
Just make it look as scary as possible.
Oh, I got you. Black and white all the way.
Hell yes. I think I did something okay. I'm
think
not
you did.
entirely sure how to read that. I thought I was in trouble, honestly. But, all right, well,
Yeah.
before any other shit, like, goes down. See.
Let's go fuck up a demon.
Yeah.
So, what do we mean by go fuck up a demon? Where you headed?
I'm following wherever Mallory goes.
Yeah.
She is gonna just try and figure out where, hit the streets time, I guess, and try and find out where Miss Bex is located.
Oh, well, remember, he didn't. Well, quick note. I just want to make absolutely sure, because that's what I was curious about when you said messing up a demon. Sharp was very concerned about you. He said basically, okay, and he was sort of trying to. I should be more specific here.
Mm-hmm.
I think something that he tried to whisper to you as you're leaving the room is to go and find Julissa.
Ah.
That was more who he was talking about.
Okay.
Specifically, because that seems to be
Okay.
at the forefront of his mind right now.
Okay, yeah, that's what she's gonna do. Take the. Okay.
Yeah, he's not as worried about Vex right this second because of the fact that she's just trying to sow dissent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I apologize. I didn't make that clear.
All right. All right. In that case, all right, we're gonna have to do a pickup. But if I say hide, because these things get messy, and it seems barely to hanging on, and the werewolves seem to be into some shit that I maybe had some involvement in. So this could get weird.
Well, I dig weird, and I may be able to give you a little boost while you're in there too.
Oh, good. Just when I say weird, it's probably gonna be like some underworld shit happening, and
Weirder than having at least 2 cults after you because you have apocalyptic visions in your head, but you only got like the last 2/3 of that because the previous one died mid-vision. On a scale of 1 to that, where are we in the weird scale?
probably like a 7. It's probably gonna not be as esoteric. It's probably gonna be more like there are probably gonna be supernatural body parts flying if things go badly.
I think I'm okay with that. As long as they're not my supernatural body parts or yours.
All right.
Let's do
Well,
this.
let's figure out this shit. Get this tablet, and who knows? Maybe this deal will go down fine.
There's always first time.
I'm going to point something out, Kai. This is the first time Mallory has mentioned a tablet to you.
Yep. Gotta just blow right past that
Okay.
for now. Because that was part of stone tablet with wings emerging from it.
Yeah.
Was part of the vision.
Yeah.
So Kai won't say anything about the tablet, but when you say tablet, just visibly has a little like pseudo double take to that. Just sort of like, okay.
It's been a long time. What was the shape of the thing I transported?
The thing that you transported, it was
Yeah.
when you saw what was inside. It was a
Yeah.
box of these rocks.
Oh, the rocks. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That were artifacts of some kind.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Then they in turn used those rocks to do something.
Yeah. That's not Mallory's concern
Yes.
ever.
I love Mallory so much.
There was a part of my mind like, I hope I didn't just like hand off this tablet, and it's like I have to go get this damn thing because I didn't know what the hell I was transporting. Good. That's good. Oh boy.
So
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
I was gonna go and find Julissa and get this deal dealt with.
All right.
Hopefully.
Well, that's still going to be hitting the streets, but this time it's you can with mind if you wish, because that's the custom
Dear
move I was trying to
God.
remember earlier. But
Dear
if you prefer,
God.
you can do it with night.
Oh, that is much better. It's like, yeah, oh boy. Her stats reflect her decision-making process, and that's... Alright, night. It's been a lot of night. Alright, night's okay. Alright.
Big night.
It's been all. This is what we've been.
So this is the interesting thing. I have in my head two things that are potentially happening.
Mm-hmm.
And your result, which is whoever you're going to is juggling their own problems, or whoever you need is more costly than anticipated.
God, I think either of those are both good.
There might be a bit of intermeshing here. We'll see. Which one of those would you like?
Surprise me. Which one?
Whoever you're juggling your own problems, or whoever you need is more costly. Well, you just dealer's choice. Is that what we're saying?
Dealer's choice. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Mallory's process. It's gonna be equally as messy, I think, either way.
I guess we're gonna go to chaotic. Whoever you're going to is juggling their own problems.
Good. I mean, we all have.
Oh, heavens help us. We're doing it. Okay,
we all have
so...
problems.
Yay,
Now
simultaneity. Alright, so...
Fun.
Let me see if I can make this work. Alright. Yes. Okay. You go forth, hunting through the building. Over hill and dale. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So, you find nothing in the immediate upstairs area.
Mm-hmm.
You head down. You head through the parking lot. Not the parking lot, sorry. You head through the parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking, you see movement out in the parking lot for a moment. Actually, well, let me see. Yes. There are two directions you can go from here when you get to the parking garage. Okay? One direction is the courtyard. The other direction is the parking lot. There is a parking lot that is also near the parking garage. It's kind of a bit behind the building, but you can snake through to there, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There are people out in the courtyard doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell. In the courtyard area, as you sort of glance, if you glance there first for a second, you can see what looks like a few people in the corner, but none of them look like Julissa.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one of them looks like Virgil. And one of them looks like Roxy.
And yeah, okay.
And one of them looks like Mia.
Cool.
And they're sort of talking to someone on the ground. You also see movement out in the parking lot. On the opposite side. I do not have a picture of the parking lot, I'm afraid.
Come on, Jim.
But, I know, right? I should have gotten it. People have looked out there plenty. in their videos. But, so out in the parking lot, and this is actually, this is the point where, I think this is how this goes down, right? As you glance into the courtyard, because that's where you first see people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
You kind of see as they're doing something, there's like sound, some sort of thudding or something coming from the opposite side, from the parking lot. And you notice also because Virgil kind of looks up and I think Virgil kind of looks up for a second. Roxy kind of looks up from where she is in the corner of the parking lot. She can't see anything. She just sort of hears something, and she's just like, oh, she's doing something. You can't hear what they're saying, but there's a thing of like, hey, what was that? Basically, that they react to for a second before returning to what they were doing or trying to. And I'm going to presume you're going to glance over at the parking lot because you have the ability to.
That
seems to follow.
That's just their shit. I don't know what they're doing.
So there are a number of cars there, out in the parking lot as you look, but it's in sort of boxed-in area. You see, it's an area that goes to a walkway too, and sort of. But you can drive to get in there, but
Mm-hmm.
You see at around the about say the middle of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
You see a small group of people, another small group of people that also contains that does seem to contain Julissa.
Cool.
From here, you're at a distance. So in this group of people, you see Julissa, and you also see you see Diana, the werewolf. You see Dino, the werewolf, who patched you up earlier.
Yeah.
Last night. And you see someone who seems to be wearing one of those Vatican security uniform type things. And they turn their head and you see that it's Erica. As they're sort of looking up at something, as they were concentrating on something that they have in front of them. And they are being distracted as well. They are being distracted by a group of about, we'll call it a dozen people. We're coming up on them dressed in black. Some of them have guns, some of them have knives. And you see at the and you can see at the rear of them, stepping forward, you see a glittery top.
Mother.
Being worn by Ileana, who's pulling a gun out of her purse, as she just sort of glances over and spots you. She smiles. She glances back, and from out of the shadows, looking around a little confused at like what the hell, you see stepping out a lovely looking gentleman. Lovely looking dark gentleman, tall dark gentleman, wearing an emerald shark skin suit.
Motherfucker, okay.
Oh, shit.
Dude.
I feel as though this is a good place to stop for the night.
Has Ileana seen Kai, too?
I think that's why she waved.
Okay. That's fair.
So they are currently surrounding these other people who are trying to do something in the middle of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking over. It's like, oh hey.
I think the second she sees Voltaire, I guess maybe maybe it goes to like, what the fuck?
He has a very similar expression on his face.
Yeah.
Let's crack some knuckles and do that.
It's one of those weird times when you see, it's like, well, a bunch of stuff is happening all at once.
Yeah,
oh, you rolled the thing where there are problems in the middle. Okay, let's put these hands together and see what happens. So there we are.
Stay tuned for a fight scene.
Quite possibly, yes. I feel as though there's a fight scene coming.
I don't know if a car park is a good place for to hide anywhere. This could get
not really, no.
Real.
No. I mean, Kai can throw a punch, but they are distinctly lacking in a lot of supernatural ability.
This might be throw cars situation, so kind of. Ooh.
We'll see.
Well, I can conduit for you, but that's about all I can do.
You're in the position I'm in on my Saturday. It's like I can just like heal things and and talk to objects, and it's just like it's a fight. It's like, oh no, yeah, it's like
you in one very specific way.
Yeah, this is. I know that place. Oh boy, well.
Kyle will take off one of their heels and throw it at somebody, nail them in the head.
All right. Well, we're going to see what happens when all of the plots converge together at once.
I mean, if you want to see, multiple supernatural creatures fight things, so that's a good.
I mean, I feel as though that may be coming.
If Kai takes a good YouTube video of it,
They will.
Somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
look at this shit.
Like, okay.
What else are they gonna do? Fight werewolves and vampires? No, they're just gonna put it on YouTube.
Okay. So,
you want to see a vampire, a werewolf, and a demon fight a wizard at some hunt?
In the parking lot.
In a parking lot.
It's the parking lot that makes it beautiful.
Hey, that's where it gets real, from what I hear. Awesome.
There's a deal happening right down the thing. These whatever the hell they picked a bad place to gather for go time, because it's they apparently feel like there's gonna be trying to be quiet and sneaky about it. Now there's this bullshit that's happening next to them.
Yep. Here, we just gotta do this real quick. We gotta finish this. Oh shit.
Oh, what the?
Shit. Yep. Well, there we are. Occasionally this is what happens when you roll a 7 to 9.
Okay, where's the car park? This is you may not know. Where is the car park in conjunction? Is it underneath, or is it on the side?
It's kind of. I'm gonna need to look at Google Maps to get it precisely. I think it's. I believe, if I have this correct in my head, which I may or may not. I believe. Let me flip over here. No, wait. That's the car is in the reception room apparently.
I'm just asking, just because
I think it's
get
gonna be
real.
out sort of here-ish.
Let me see. Where?
I think that's where it is, roughly on the map.
Let me just. Where's it again? Ping it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check.
Okay.
I'm gonna double check between sessions and just make sure that is in fact where it is.
Yeah.
But I think that's where it is. But if it's not, then it's on the other side.
I was just asking, just because if this is one of those subterranean ones that are underneath this fancy place, it could go real bad. It's I don't
Oh, it's not subterranean. It is open to the sky. Yeah.
It's there could be just
Yep. Yeah.
Good.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's so much. There's so much. But, In any case, we're going to go ahead and do our outros, I guess, if we're good to. Are we doing okay? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, this is good chaos.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you, and feel free to plug whatever you like, and any final thoughts about this session. And we shall start with Lynn.
Hey, oh god, Mallory, this is the sort of weird that she was talking about. It's gonna be like, I can't wait to see what the hell the outcome of this thing is, like what the hell goes on. This is gonna be like, like Train Station Part 2 as far as like, oh, there is shit happening. Oh, but yeah, this was great. Seeing everything kind of like tie up together and just like what chaos that we've done this entire time has been super fun. And you can catch me if I'm following Sirius pretty much every place, Twitter, Twitch, where I have all my streams and the games. And next time you'll probably catch me is on Saturday on Wandering DM for our Birth of New Gods, our Scion campaign, where I play the person that has 0 fighting skills and just ends up in fights and just tries not to die, and just like give encouragement and all that stuff. And we are in the midst of like some there's an evil eye in the sky. We made deals with like these little like spirits that live inside a car engine. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Awesome. Excellent. Any other final thoughts, or are we good?
I'm good. This I can't wait. I can't wait to see what the hell is.
Oh yes. All right, and over to Sara.
Hello, everyone. I am Sara. You can find me on Twitter at Sara of Swords, though I am still on a social media break, so you'll see me pop up like every 3 days with a retweet of some cute cat art or something. And you can find me here. This is where I'm at right now. So we'll see y'all next week. Really looking forward to the convergence of plots, the plot singularity, the plot event horizon, whatever we want to call it, in the parking lot. Again, I think the parking lot is what makes it really funny. Just for some reason, I'm hung up on that fact. But can't wait to see how useless Kai is in this fight. Like literally, they're gonna have to start throwing shoes and rocks. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Really enjoyed Kai getting to kind of finally talk to Delphina Jenna. I think that happened in like episode 1 or 2 that Kai astral projected into Delphina's living room.
Oh, that's right.
Way back.
It was like 3 or 4.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty early on. So getting to finally talk to her was great. Especially because she was not aligned with the sect I thought she was. So that was cool. That was a good surprise. And yeah, just Kai kind of figuring out what they're going to do with all of this, and super pumped to be Mallory's hype person for this fight, and video her for the internet fame. So
good, excellent. Awesome. All right, and I will say that I feel as though next week might be the finale. Then just simply because of everything coming to a head. Maybe we'll have to see how events unfold. Very well could be, but then I'm realizing, well, depends on what happens. All right, awesome. Well, I'm Jim. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. Here on Saturdays, we have our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. They have just solved the problem in a small town, and now we have to see if they're going to deal with the thing that was behind the problem, or if they're just going to go home. We don't know yet. We'll find out. And then, of course, on Tuesday, we have more of this, as our saga comes barreling to its conclusion. And we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. So, let's see, what else? Oh, right! I am actually going to shortly, and within probably the next few days, I'm going to open signups to a game that I am going to be running possibly. I don't know if it's going to be on stream or not yet. I have to think about it. But October's rolling around. It's been a couple of years. I want to run some more Don't Rest Your Head. So I'm going to open up some signups for that soon. So look for that. I will make announcements on the Twitters and what have you when I do that. Yes, I do have a question in chat. Am I streaming tomorrow? No, I am actually not streaming tomorrow. Ordinarily, on Wednesday mornings, I would be doing City Skylines. I'm going to do that on Thursday instead, because tomorrow there is a rather important thing happening, whereby we need Twitch to hear us, dear God.
God. Yeah.
Because, and I know it's a thing that I understand. It's a thing that doesn't affect me as directly, especially on streams where I'm by myself, because, I mean, look, but at the same time, you have to, it has to, they have to hear us. They have to, because it's just unconscionable. It's just unconscionable what's happening right now. So I am not going to be streaming tomorrow. So I will, with any luck, be back doing City Skylines probably on like Thursday, Friday. But yeah, tomorrow's a day when we do not stream on Twitch, and I understand that there are a lot of folks who have contracts or what have you. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, it's much appreciated that as many people not stream as possible tomorrow, so that they will hear something, hopefully. But that said, I thank you all very much for coming and joining us this evening. This was awesome. I had a wonderful time, and I am just very pleased to see how very pleased. I was very pleased to see the RP, and very interested to see where things go. So when we hit the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to, let's see, who shall I send a raid over to? Probably either Metapot Studio or to Level Up TTV, one of those two. They're doing interesting RPG-looking things over there. So we'll go over there and say hi to one of them. Actually, probably Metapot Studios, because I think Level Up's been going for like 4 hours now, so they're probably about to finish. So we're going to head over to Metapot Studios say hi. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.